Hey guys, welcome to this brief yet powerful session about how to address burnout in a helpful way. There is so much free advice and quick hacks on the internet around burnout, yet if you are experiencing burnout, you would know that most of them really fall short on actually addressing burnout. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. I want to talk about what burnout actually is so that you can understand the root cause of what you're experiencing, or perhaps people in your team. And that way you can also understand why some of the kind of traditional ways of addressing depression or some other mental health challenges is not really functional for burnout. And I want to most importantly give you a solution to addressing your own burnout, your own experience, what you're going through, so that you can feel empowered in the situation that you're in rather than helpless and feeling like things are happening to you. So let me start with looking at the root cause of burnout and really just mapping out what the hell burnout actually is. So I took notes from the mastermind that we did last week around this, which was sparked by Adam Grant's post around languishing and burnout. And it was really obvious that there is so much misconception and misunderstanding what's what. So what people typically say about burnout is that they feel like there are too many opportunities in their lives. They literally want to do everything. There's this great sense of FOMO, fear of missing out. They want to impact others. They want to make a positive change out there in the external world. They often feel like they can't get off the train. So they have so many responsibilities and duties and tasks that, they have to fulfill every day. And many times they feel like they're kind of running behind. It's just a train that's running and they simply can't stop. They can't get off it. They also have a common kind of fear of being inconsistent or being perceived as weak or inconsistent. So there is this internal pressure to be performing high all the time and to look like we have things figured and to achieve and to deliver. They have been playing by rules their entire life and playing according to the system. And there is a sense of kind of revolt within, which feels like sometimes they're even questioning whose life am I actually living? Because there's all these rules that I've been following. But is this really the right way to go about life? I'm suddenly starting to feel funny about this. And there is a feeling that they simply can't get into the background. They are in a position in their life where they're a part of this big puzzle, and it's really hard for them to step back and to take some rest. So this is what some people would say about burnout, and obviously there is so much more. And touching on this, I want to give you a greater understanding of what burnout actually looks like on a spectrum of how the experience actually follows. So you might not know this, but burnout actually starts very positively with the so-called honeymoon phase. So it has 5 phases, and the first one is honeymoon. It's basically the stage where we are so excited about those opportunities, so committed to making that change in the world, so eager to prove ourselves that we take on and on and on. We want to be a part of everything. We really want to, seize the day, seize the opportunity, and it's very typical when we get in a new job. We say yes to everything. So that's the first phase. And anything that comes in as a pressure, we take as a positive challenge. And it's something that we want to prove ourselves through. However, if we don't take precautions and don't find harmony and balance within this first stage, what starts happening is that our body simply can't run in this peak performance mode if we don't take any breaks and don't incorporate, what we call flow, actually. So kind of like following the natural cycle of the human body. So what starts happening with people is that they really start feeling the stress as a negative. So it's the second phase, which is called the onset of stress. I'm not going to go very much into detail with this. You can totally learn everything about these phases on our website, burnoutheroes.com. But I just want you to kind of see the continuum. So then the stress starts coming in, and if we don't capture it in that second stage, we develop chronic stress. We jump into the third phase where we really feel lots of symptoms on the mental level. We start having lack of focus, and feeling emotionally tense as well, and obviously physical symptoms start coming in. And if we don't address it here, then the burnout comes in. So that's the fourth stage. And the fifth stage is habitual burnout. It's recurring burnout, when we're not really understanding what caused it, and we keep kind of going back into burnout again and again. So this is the overview of the 5 kind of stages of burnout. And as I said, you can learn a lot more about the actual symptoms. The reason why you're here, probably, I'm guessing that you are already experiencing some of these symptoms and you're pretty sure that you're going through burnout, or you're kind of guessing that you are. So keep watching the video, because this is what I really want to offer you to think about, and it's really approaching this whole topic of burnout very differently. So majority of people would kind of agree, and majority of the academic sort of research around burnout, the scientific research that's out there, claims that burnout is caused by all of these external triggers that we experience mostly in the workplace, and we all know what they are. It's a lot of stress, too much workload, there is unfair reward, there is a lack of social connection. There's lots of these things that we can kind of identify really easily when we look at the context of our workplace. However, what I want to talk to you about in this video, because this is what will make you feel more empowered in the situation that you're in, is, as much as these external factors are triggers of burnout, there are also internal personal patterns that you have within you, which have been acquired, and they are leading you to burnout. And some of these things, which are connected to what I was talking about, to what people are experiencing, is, for example, the proving oneself, the sensation that your worth comes from being rewarded, from seeing some results, from getting validation from others, from getting recognition. It's this mechanic that you think that you are here to prove something externally, and you will only be fulfilled once that comes. However, this moment of fulfillment is also very, very temporary, is very short, because once we have this feeling that we're constantly here to prove ourselves, that cup can never be filled. So this is the first mechanic, which is, watch out for this if you can spot it within yourself. For me, that's really the core for burnout, and I can really see that across the board for a lot of people, whether they are aware of it or not. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. Really, it is not, because this is pretty much how our entire culture and economy is set up. We are always told that the success, the happiness, the worth is one step away from us, that we have to get this product to be more worthy, to be more loved, to be more recognized. We have to get to this status, etc., etc. So that's the first one. And then I'm just going to kind of rattle through the rest. So another one is perfectionism, or having unrelenting standards, which is, I don't have to go into detail around what that is. We have this idea of how things should be, and want to have control over them, and want to make sure that they are meeting our expectations. However, there is no way that we can have control over everything externally, and so this is where we can feel really the gap, and really the source of unhappiness and energy drain for ourselves. And the other 3 things are really connected to your relationship with others. So a lot of people who experience burnout have a tendency to please others, to put others first before themselves. They would rather abandon themselves and their own needs than abandoning others and not meeting other people's needs. They really feel that they need to care for others. And with that also comes over-identifying with other people's stories and taking responsibility for other people's lives, and really us just kind of living through them, living their lives. That way we can then sink into codependent relationships, etc., etc. And again, for me, this is something that, as a society, it's so deeply rooted in our society and in our culture, and it's actually enforced and encouraged and celebrated so much more than being sovereign, that if you identify with these things, I'm not surprised at all, and I pretty much tick all the boxes, and so do most of the people that I work with. So I really just want to bring your attention to this in case you haven't really connected that with your burnout. And the last one is conflict avoidance. And conflict avoidance, you know, it's kind of connected to everything else. It's also not knowing how to do conflict, how to enter into conflict in a healthy way. And again, it's cultural, and there are beautiful tools how we can actually learn how to enter into conflict in an effective, productive way. So I want to just pause here and say that a lot of advice that's out there around burnout does not really fully understand what it is, and does not fully appreciate that burnout, people who experience burnout are high achievers. They are amazing. They're insanely skilled, talented, knowledgeable genius. And that's the reason why they have also this sense of taking responsibility for others, caring about others, and wanting to help others. And they really are mission driven. And so things like, if you want to get out of, this like misery and despair that you might be feeling, and this disengagement and depression, suggesting that you should go and provide some service to other people and that will lift you up, that, in my experience, is a very bad advice for you if you're going through a burnout right now, because people who experience burnout typically feel like they're overgiving already and they are not getting enough back. So I want to propose an alternative to how I like to approach burnout, just very briefly, and see how this resonates with you, if that works. So first of all, there is the understanding of what actually causes you burnout. And so we kind of touched on some of these things. However, there is an entire kind of matrix, that I'm working with that allows people to very quickly and immediately map out, oh my God, that happened in my life, that, and this is why I'm going through this over and over again. So the understanding is core, understanding the root cause of it, not just trying to kind of manage the calendar and, think that that's going to solve the problem. Second thing is asking in whatever stage of burnout you are in, asking your burnout, going into the burnout and having a conversation around what is it that you actually need. What does that burnout need? Why is it putting you in bed? Why is it making you feel miserable? What is that underlying need that's there? What is that desire that's there? I use a method called internal family systems that I've been trained in. It is brilliant. It literally allows you to go into your subconscious and talk to any emotion that you have. And this is the fastest way that I know to this point of getting out of any sticky situation, getting out of any kind of low point in your life, and being able to act on it really quickly. It works with depression, it works with suicidal ideation, it works with burnout. So the second thing is asking the voice within you, what is it that it actually needs? A lot of people feel like that's very scary, but this is exactly where your answers are and where the solutions are. And then I really suggest that you go and experiment, that you go and act on these things that you feel like you need to be doing for yourself. So that also leads me to the fourth point, which is really having a focus on yourself. I can pretty much guarantee you that 90% of you who will be asking your burnout, what is it that you need, you will learn that it's something for yourself, that you need to give yourself more, that you need to take more space for yourself, that you need to, give yourself more love, care about yourself more. So can you act on this and really focus on your needs, your desires, what you need in your life? Prioritize that over everything else that you've been doing to now. And the next point is very kind of logical. It's about reduction, reducing everything else around you and things that are causing you stress and overwhelm, just letting it go out of your life. So you focus, you get clarity on what you need to do, you start focusing on yourself, and you start reducing meetings, work, tasks, learn how to delegate, I really love supporting people through discovering how they can actually do that. This comes with amazing lessons around letting go of needing to be in control all the time and actually learning how you can energetically still show up and impact a meeting, people in the room, by different energy game. You don't have to be the one always, being in the forefront, having the word. So there are lots of amazing techniques around how you can preserve your energy and direct it where it matters for the highest impact, so that you can really be in control of your performance, internally being in control rather than trying to control everything externally. And the last point is creation. And that is really anything that you feel here in your heart that is something you should be doing, not because you need to prove something to someone or something is expected or something is considered success, but what is your essence really calling for? What is that creation that you haven't really given out to the world yet? And here really art and embodiment comes into play, where in our program that we have, lots of people create beautiful, amazing things and side projects. Some people even build their careers around it. So each of us has a lot of accumulated stuff that has been suppressed, perhaps things that you used to do as a child and you were told that, oh, you're not a musician, you're not talented, and you just left it there. Trust me, the moment you take that guitar again or start playing piano again, it's as if something came alive in you. So instead of pigeonholing yourself and just kind of living your life in this prescribed matrix, really start rediscovering who you are and connecting with that essence that you have there. So I have been talking about energy and touched on it. That is the last thing that I want to leave with you. Burnout really is about your energy management. And yes, energy, like we know energy is something that we kind of put a lot of into meetings and give to a lot of people, put into projects, and we can have it from good food and exercise and stuff like that. But I really want you to understand that energy is something that is heavily dependent on your thoughts and your emotions, as well as your body. And so if you are having thoughts where you are being run by an inner voice that is criticizing constantly yourself and telling you you're not good enough or you're failing, that is an absolute energy drain. If you're having emotions that are dragging you down and lowering your energy levels, there is no way that you can actually go with full force and run a powerful meeting with anyone, because there is an emotion that's underlying, that's blocking you from really truly stepping into that potential. And lastly, it's the body, which is, I can't stress enough the importance of moving the energy through the body and unlocking, even if you just do like subtle movements like that, because the body really is the vessel. It's the enabler of anything that's within us. So we can start working on our mindset, go through emotions and into our body, but we can also go the other way around. And this is all beautiful, fascinating energy work that I love geeking out on and diving into with people and supporting people through. So wherever you are on your burnout journey, this is what I feel everyone should know. This is something that I wish I knew when I went through my own burnout. And I would love to know if this resonated with you. What do you think about this kind of thread that I took you through? And if I can be of any assistance, we have programs for both leaders, individuals, and whole teams, whole companies. We love to support people within the understanding of burnout, and especially if you're in those earlier stages, to really prevent it and make sure that you can get the most out of your performance. So please get in touch with me, and I really look forward to hearing about your story. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.